Welcome. My name is Tilly, and this is Tarot with Tilly, and we are here today because it is February the 15th is coming very shortly, and with it, the solar eclipse. So, what is a solar eclipse? It's our new moon, but it's like a new moon on steroids. I've heard that several times, and that's what it is. The energy lasts for not a month, but 6 months. Okay, so what is a new moon energy? Then we have to ask ourselves, and that is stepping into new paths, changing our routines, new relationships forming, new partnerships, deepening relationships, deepening our passions, our dreams, our desires. It's planting the seeds to our tomorrow. Now, that could be in many different areas of our life, and usually they cross over between each other. So we can't just say that our career is going to take off or we're going to start this new business, because when we do those kinds of things and we put our energy into those new beginnings, those new starts, those new opportunities, we have to look at the whole picture. So that changes the dynamics of a relationship or a friendship, our spirituality, our health and well-being. We have to take it all into account in how we're going to move forward. Now, we are in the energy of 2018. So if you take 2 plus 0 plus 1 plus 8, you have the 11. And the 11 is in tarot the Justice card. So it's a very strong energy. It's a very hard energy to work through, but the rewards that come out of it are plentiful. So what does the Justice card ask of us? Well, it asks us to be committed, to discipline ourselves, to do the hard work, to be fair, to bring in balance. So we have to commit to ourselves. We have to commit to a dream. We have to commit to a goal, a desire. Now it is, February is a 2, so that's our High Priestess. And so it's asking us to look within, to contemplate, a quiet contemplation of our heart, our dreams, our desires, and being truthful to ourselves of what makes us happy, of where we want to go forward, of our belief in ourselves. And then we have the 15th. So the 15 is actually, whoops, the 15, that's too many cards. The 15 is the devil. And so the devil sometimes brings in a confusion, a feeling like you can't go any farther. The devil brings in something that needs to be released. It's breaking that ball and chain around your ankle. It is, and also the Aquarian energy is searching for an experience and knowledge and bringing out our own originality within our talents and our personalities. And it is through releasing a restriction or a limitation or eliminating it or depleting it completely or diminishing it in some way or changing it or tweaking it. Something that made us feel limited or bound to a certain code or maybe somebody else. Maybe we've been living somebody else's dream or tapped into somebody else's agenda. And we need to step into our own. So we have this new moon that is going to really set the stage for the next 6 months. So it is a time for reflection, absolutely. It is a time for, and that is, it's at 27 degrees of Aquarius. So when we look at the 27, that's the Ace of Wands. That's the new beginning. That's the new start. That is knowing our strengths, knowing our abilities, our talents, and using them and bringing them out from within. It's about creating and inventing. And if we take the 27 and we boil it down, it's the Hermit. And so the Hermit is one that would go into the cave or the desert and examine his or her life. What belongs, what doesn't belong, what holds us back, what moves us forward, what gives us energy, what depletes our vitality. And changing, making plans, making new footsteps to maybe rid ourselves of a bad habit or something that holds us back. Maybe it's a fear. Maybe it's that inside voice that was really somebody else's opinion of you once a long time ago. And seeing the beauty of who you are and moving forward. Once the Hermit has identified those things, we can make the plan. We come out of the cave, we come out of the desert, and we go forward. We plant those seeds. So let's see what cards we get to direct us, because really this energy is so, there's so much energy happening within the sky. I mean, Mercury's there, we have Juno. Mercury and Juno are both conjunct with the solar eclipse. But I think Uranus is part of it. I think Jupiter is part of it. I think Mars has a piece to say in it. So there's a lot of energy. You know, and when we have those kind of planets, we want to grow the abundance. And the abundance can grow. So you have to really go with the flow. You have to be open to the opportunities. You have to, the things that you have thought about. You know, when we make the commitment to ourselves, 2018 is very much about making the commitment to ourselves, and that's the hardest part. Once we get going, we get excited. The doors open for us. The things we need show up in our life. We get the tools. We see the path. We get the clarity. We understand. We have the Empress as our first card. So this is really who we are in our mindset. And the Empress is one, now she is one of the highest intuitives in the deck. She is also one of the highest diplomats in the deck. She is about new beginnings, new starts. Now the one thing about the Empress we have to remember, being the diplomat, she's made the plan. She's thought things through. And she is going to step the best way forward by utilizing other people in our lives, our tools, her own personality plays a big part. She wants to make the world a better place, her personal world as well as her kingdoms. She follows her intuition. She brings in the people that are needed. And this is about creativity. It's about being inventive. It's about new starts, deepening relationships. We have the Knight of Pentacles. Knight's always bringing messages, so yes, pay close attention to those opportunities that spring up out of nowhere. Maybe you overhear a conversation and it just ignites something in your mind. Maybe you read something. Maybe it's through a phone call or an email. Maybe all of a sudden an idea comes to you. This is about going forward in your abundance. You have to determine what abundance is for you. For some people, it's good health. For others, it's deeper spirituality. Yet another, it could be growing a business or growing a career, growing the stature in a community. It could be about a love relationship, a friendship, a partnership. Where do you see abundance in your life? What does it mean to you to be happy, to be content, to have peace of mind? That's the abundance you want to grow. And you have to look within your heart in order to do that. To really tap into what you want going forward. With the Lovers. The Lovers is the 6th, so the 15th boils down to a 6, doesn't it? Which is the Lovers. Deepening love, deepening passion. Meeting your soulmate. It's in the middle, for goodness sakes. Meeting a soulmate. growing deeper bonds, growing, and it could be in passions. If it really your term of abundance to you is growing that career, there comes a passion, a desire, there's a fire about you in order to go forward. Things start to happen because you're making them happen, because you're following your intuition, because you are planning your steps forward. But there is a deep love. If you don't have that deep love, that deep passion for whatever you're doing, you're not really going to tap into the solar eclipse energy. It has to be something from the heart. The Eight of Cups. Eight of Cups is very much about moving beyond the things that make us comfortable. Safe, secure. Because they've gotten us to this point. Now it's time for us to branch out. Now it's time to take that step past our fear. It's very much like the young adult moving out of the home for the first time. They leave the security of the family nest, where they knew if they opened the fridge, there'd be food in there. And when they turned on the light switch, the lights would come on. And if they had a bad day, there was always somebody to talk to. Mom or dad was there, maybe a sibling. But they know that by taking that step into independence and freeing themselves of some limitations that they had living in the family home, they could step into their dreams. And so even though there's a fear involved, there's an excitement involved. And then we have the Four of Cups. The Four of Cups is gratitude. To be grateful for what you have. Now, there was a study done, a scientific study done, and it found really that when we are young children, we have a happiness level, and when we die, we have a happiness level, and we only really gain a couple percent in all that time of trying to find that happiness, trying to reach that goal of passion and dreams and desires and meeting those goals and dreams. So the number one way of doing that is exercise. So get out for that walk. And it's proven scientifically that if you walk briskly for 5 minutes, your body starts producing chemicals that automatically make you happier. It takes you out of depression. It takes you out of sadness. And then you can see with a lot more clarity of the beauty that already surrounds you and the gifts you already have and the remarkable person you already are. So start something around exercise. Maybe it's a walk, maybe it's a jog, maybe it's some yoga. And if you're already doing that, then raise the bar on yourself. Now, the second thing is by writing a gratitude journal. So tonight and every night for the next 6 months, I'm going to dare you for the whole solar eclipse energy, I want you to write down one thing tonight on a piece of paper next to your bedstand. And then say it out loud, something you're grateful for. And it might be just that you have a pillow to put your head on and go to sleep. And the next night, I want you to write a second thing and read both things and go to sleep. And before long, you will have pages of things that you are grateful for. And when your mindset starts to change to the things that you have rather than the things that you lack, more comes into your life. It's proven. It's not something mystical. It's scientifically proven. So you owe it to yourself to start that gratitude journal. And start changing your perception of what you lack into what you have to work with, what you can step into, what you can create. So even though we get the devil card with the 15 energy of February the 15th, We also boil it down to the Lovers. And this is the middle card. This is where all the energy is. Now we have Mercury. And Mercury is all about our voice, our words, our communication. It's our emails, it's Facebook, it's Instagram, it's Twitter, it's YouTube. It's meeting at the coffee shop and going to work and talking to people there. So how are we communicating our dreams, our desires, our want to go forward? How are we communicating our gratitude to other people, our love to other people? How are we deepening that? What are our goals? What is our plan to grow the relationship? Tony Robbins says, treat every day like your first day, you'll never have a last. Remember the magic, remember the reasons why you're with each other, whether it's a friendship, a partnership, a lover. Remember the why. And concentrate on the why and grow that why. Bigger and better and more beautiful than before, and put passion and sensuality. Create the harmony. We all start out as the Empress on this day. We all can step into creating new beginnings. Usually the Empress is shown in the tarot as somebody who is pregnant, giving life, birthing. So is there an idea? Is there a hobby that you've always wanted to turn into something more? Have you always wanted to better yourself in some way? Education, or the food you eat, or your sleeping patterns, or maybe getting rid of a bad habit, replacing it with a good. This is the energy that you possess today to make a commitment to yourself. So that 11 energy, that 2018 energy, asking you to make that commitment to yourself. And that is the hardest part. Even though it looks like a very long upward climb when you're making that commitment, once you make that commitment, you'll realize that it was the hardest part of it, that it gets easier, that the opportunities appear. When you make that commitment to yourself, the energy of this year, when you make that commitment to yourself, truly make it to yourself, all of a sudden that opportunity to step into that appears in your life. So expect magical transformations in your life. Expect them. Affirm it to yourself. Believe that it will happen, and you will see it happen. You will see the miracles unfold in your life. That's what this card is saying. And then with the Lovers, we have the Knight of Pentacles sitting in between the two. So pay attention to those messages, whether it comes to you in a dream or a trance. And going into trance is a human experience, okay? It's not something mystical. We all go into trance. We probably do it several times a day. We don't even realize we're doing it. But have you ever had a conversation with somebody and then all of a sudden you realize that they were looking at you waiting for a response and you had no idea what they said, even though they were sitting right in front of you? That's going into trance. You ever watch a movie and then all of a sudden you see the credits roll and you're like, what happened? How did I miss the end? I was staring right at the TV or the computer screen. That's going into trance. You ever leave for work in the morning and all of a sudden you're at work and you're really not sure how you even got there because you don't remember making the turns or parking or any of that? Did I break a law? Oh my goodness. It's going into trance. And when we go into trance, that's when our mind, our subconscious takes over and starts working on our goals and our dreams and our desires. So we have to be doubly cautious that we're not feeding ourselves with negatives of the lack of, but rather the positive and where we can go and what we can create and what we can do. The Eight of Cups says move past your fears, step into the unknown, which is the new seeds that you are planting. What you are yearning for, what your heart, your passion, go for it. I don't care if your grade school teacher told you that you would never succeed at that. It was one person, one opinion when you were a little child, and you took that information and you safeguarded yourself as a little child would. Now you're a grown up. Go back and visit that time and see how those words were really nothing. That you were drawn to it all along. If you're drawn to something, it's in your path. You just have to walk towards it. You know, I never want to fly a plane. It doesn't appeal to me. Other people, maybe you, would love to fly a plane one day. Then why aren't you? Fear holds us back. And we start to make up excuses on why we can't. So we have to be truthful with ourselves. Is it something real that we can't move past? Or is it something that we've put up, a limitation that we've put on ourselves, a ball and chain that we've put on ourselves through our thinking so that we wouldn't have to step past our fear? Are you afraid of the fear of failure? Or are you afraid of the fear of succeeding? Because then what? Then you have to rethink everything because you never thought you'd get this far. Let's get an affirmation card, shall we? Or two. So this is about planting the seeds to your tomorrow. And, you know, we have so many big planets involved even with the energy that we have to really pay attention to. Like, we won't understand it. We won't see what the small changes we make in our life today, the small tweaks, the small adjustments, the reformations that we do. Bring in the total transformation. We won't see that total transformation because it's long lasting. It'll take time. You'll look back in 5 years and go, wow, if I didn't do that, I never would have been here today. The fortune's wheel. Okay, the fortune's wheel. So if we add up, February is a 2, 15th is a 6, and then we have 2018 is 11. That's 2 and 6 is 8, is 9, 19, which is a 10. The fortune's wheel. And if we go down even more, it's the magician. And when the magician is involved, and the magician has been involved since January the 1st, when the magician is involved, what we wish for, we will get. So be very careful. I mean, if you are wishing that you just had a day to just relax and unwind, you just want a day of rest, you just want a day when you can stay in bed, trust me, you'll get sick. Put in the details of what that day will really consist of. Does it have palm trees and crystal clear blue water and an umbrella in your drink? Is it getting an award at work or through your career or reaching some new plateau? And it's a celebration. Fortune's wheel. And the Wheel of Fortune tells you that you are moving into new energy, that you are leaving old energy. So go with the flow. Don't be rigid in your experiences right now. Destiny meets synchronicity. I am in awe to experience many meaningful coincidences that prove to me that Spirit has my back. These lucky breaks and moments when things just turn out perfectly show how we're all connected. My gamble will pay off when I trust my co-creative partnership with Spirit. My destiny is obvious to me now. So get ready for those lucky breaks. Know that God, your angels, your spirit guides, Source, the universe, has your back, that you are well protected, that when you cry, they sob, and when you smile, they rejoice. Follow your intuition. These lucky breaks and moments when things just turn out perfectly show how we're all connected. My gamble will pay off when I trust my co-creative partnership with Spirit. When I trust. That's a hard one. Because the last 5 to 10 years, every time we trusted, we fell flat on our face, didn't we? Another chaotic experience. Pulled us to the left and then to the right. But that energy is behind us now. And so we are learning how to trust again. Believe in yourself. Believe in your talents, your abilities, that you're here for a reason. And only you can do what is needed, what is called for. We'll pick another. One can't make this up, can you? The love card shows up, number 6. Doesn't that look a lot like a strength card? Love, oneness. In all of life, there is only the illusion of separation. In fact, we are all reflections of one another. When I make choices, I tend to see things as either or. What if every choice I make is about an experience, a sharing, and exploring? When I choose to see the unity of all things, magic abounds. Love is all around me. Spirit loves me unconditionally, and I can give and receive abundant love. And please give it to yourself first, because that gives you the strength, the clarity on how to give it to everyone else. So we were looking at the 15 that boils down to the 6. That's showing up very strongly. And then we have the 4 of air. The 4 of air shows up at the end. Look at that, I opened up just about to the page too. Healing, meditation, rest, and recuperation. It's time to rest my mind and allow peace to take the place of busyness and boredom. My mind needs quiet to think and find clarity. If I allow my mind to rest, I will have greater clarity and my mind will be sharper. This is a time for a break. I need to care for me. And how often do you take time to care for you? Because today is a day. The next 6 months, every day. Give yourself 5 minutes of peace of mind. 5 minutes that's just yours. And I hope it's longer. I hope it's like 20 minutes or a day a week or an hour a day. That you take time just for you. And do things that make you happy, that bring out the joy in you. Through, it could be gardening. It could be, if you love to organize, it could be organizing. If you love to clean, it could be cleaning. And seeing the results of everything sparkling. It could be that you build things. It could be that you love gardening. You could like walks through the woods or next to the ocean, down the beach. What brings out a happiness in you, a joy, a peace of mind, a time for reflection, a time to unplug from our cell phones and computers and just be and to have a conversation with ourselves and get to know ourselves a little bit better. And since it is a moon reading, we will take the Journey of Love cards. So I love the way the cards all come together, and I mean, they're really, the energy of the solar eclipse is very much the energy of the cards that has appeared. Guardian of the Soul Family, 26. Guardian of the Soul Family. And remember, we got Juno in there, okay? And I didn't even, I stopped. I said a little bit about Mercury, I think, and then I got off on the other planets. And Juno is the goddess of the new moon. And for the Romans, they had a lunar calendar. So the first day of every 28 days, they would have a celebration and ceremonies and offerings to the goddess Juno. And Juno protects women really of childbearing years, probably from infancy to childbearing years, marriage, commitments, soulmates, making a commitment to each other. So how exciting that she is involved in this new solar eclipse, because it's all about our relationships and the love that we give out and the love that we are willing to receive. You know, so many of us, when somebody even gives us a compliment, we're so quick to shut the door on it. They'll say, "Oh, what a beautiful blouse," and you go, "Oh, this lousy thing, I got it at the Five and Dime store for the Salvation Army the for $1. I got it 10 years ago. It's been in the back of my closet. It means nothing to me." We say thank you. "Don't you look beautiful today? I love your hair." "Oh, I don't even like this color. I don't like the cut. The girl cut it too short or too..." Thank you. Thank you for seeing my beauty and taking a moment to let me know that you can see my beauty. Thank you. When I open my heart, you cover me with a blanket of love and the warm silence with your caress. Words unspoken say it all as we become more than we are alone. You are being drawn into kindred spirits in this physical world by loving guardians in the spiritual world. If you feel that you are leaving relationships behind, do not be afraid. The space that such courageous action creates is sometimes necessary in order to have room for the new to enter your sphere of consciousness. You may also feel that somehow a relationship that seemed to be held back from you is now becoming available to you. There is a great soul love calling you into more intimate connections now. It is sanctioned by the divine. It is karmic destiny to fulfill. There is love that you are to experience in connection with particular souls, predetermined by the divine plan. If you are struggling to feel the soul purpose in your current relationships, take heart, for you are being helped by divine guardians who understand and support the sacred purpose of your relationships. Be open to current relationship healing, whether that means improved communication and enriched experiences, or the realization that you have traveled as far as you can together. And know that new relationships are going to be an important aspect of your spiritual destiny being fulfilled. Trust in the divine timing of your life and open your heart to the guardians who help you with unconditional love now. The guidance of this oracle for you is that relationship healing is taking place. In present relationships unfolding, in attracting the right relationships for your future growth, and in leaving behind relationships of the past with a peaceful heart. Be gentle with your heart, beloved. All is well. So know that some people only come in to play a short role in our life. And sometimes, if we are leaving a relationship, we meet somebody new and we can't even understand or begin to fathom what we saw in that last relationship because this one is so perfect. If a relationship has dulled, this is the time to revive it. This is the time to be grateful for one another, to go back to the why of what brought you together. Now, this may not be relationships. This could be the love of your life is a passion, a dream. The love of your life may be helping out at the local hospital once a week or the retirement home or going to visit that shut-in. Something that makes your soul soar, your heart jump. Something that brings in passion or ignites passion within you. Those are the things that you want to look at during the solar eclipse. And yes, step past the fear into your new beginnings. Until we meet again, remember, I do love you.